What is going on, guys? Welcome back to Blab. I appreciate you stopping by. Without further ado, let's blab. Before we hop into it, I appreciate you guys. We are quickly approaching 200 subscribers. If you wouldn't mind commenting, and subscribing, getting it on the ground floor of Blab Nation, I would appreciate it. And with that being said, let's hop right into it. So, yes, you read the thumbnail right, you read the title right. I do think that the Mega Evolutions era will probably have 4 to 5 sets, right? I do believe it is going to be a stopgap between Scarlet and Violet and the 30th anniversary. Is it possible that the 30th anniversary is part of the Mega era? Is it part of a new era? Is it a standalone set without an era? That all remains to be seen. However, based on the couple of other tabs I pulled up over here, and like I said, just pure speculation, I do think it's possible that these sets right here on your screen, Inferno X, Ninja Spinner, Storm Emeralda, all of those, these will be the only sets revealed, right? We do know that when there is a trademark pulled in Japanese, that the speculation starts running on what set we're going to get. For Inferno X, we thought we're going to get a Charizard set, and that is exactly what happened. For Ninja Spinner, we're thinking a Mega Greninja set. Greninja, one of the most overrated Pokemon of all time, in my opinion. That Greninja from Stellar Crown is garbage. I'd rather have the promo from the Shrouded Fable collection box, but that's just a blab. Storm Emeralda, we're thinking we're going to get a Mega Rayquaza. That should be awesome. Rayquaza, top 10 Pokemon. But let me tell you why I think that these might be the only sets we get. And, obviously we go and so on and so forth with Abyss Eye, Mega Dream, etc., etc. So I think that we can take a look at the 25th anniversary, which launched October 8th. So there's a good chance that we get our 30th anniversary sometime in October 2026. However, we do also know that the anniversary of Pokemon, or Pokemon Day, is February 27th. So, if we get the release in late February, early March, that only puts us, around 3 months after the release of Phantasmal Flames. So, as we know, again, September 26th, in a couple of weeks here, we have the official release of MEO1, or Mega Base. And then, 6 to 7 weeks later, we have Phantasmal Flames. So if we continue 6 to 7 weeks down the line, we eventually get to February 27th. And between mid to late November and late February, you only have January and December, right? And obviously all of February. So you have 3 months. So maybe 3 more sets to come out after Phantasmal Flames if we were going to get a release of the 30th anniversary in late February, early March. Even if it's in April, how many sets can we really have in Mega Evolutions? Now, if it's more than 4 or 5 sets, maybe it's 7 or 8. I don't see it being nearly as big as Scarlet and Violet, or even Sword and Shield. Obviously, in Scarlet and Violet, we got, 15, 16 sets. I would be very surprised if it's even half as big as Scarlet and Violet. Now, as we continue, another question would be, is the 30th anniversary going to be investable? And I think it will be. That's not a hot take, but it's for different reasons. I could care less what the cards in the set are. I think when you are investing in something, you want scarcity, right? And all of these new sets are not really scarce. There's just demand outweighing supply, whether that be investors, rippers, rip and shippers, whatever. Product is constantly coming out, right? And we know that most sets have 2 to 3 year print runs. So people are saying, why would I buy, the newest set, say, Destined Rivals for $300-400 a box when it's going to be printed for 2.5 more years? I totally get that. The difference with a 30th anniversary set, or at least the 25th anniversary set, is only printed for 1 year, right? They want it to be that one anniversary year. So they only print it or release it. I know people get mad when you say, oh, 151 is getting reprinted. Maybe it's not getting reprinted, but they're constantly still coming out in your big box stores. Like if you go to Best Buy, if you go to Target, Walmart, you'll find 151 product every now and then. If you're going in at the right time, et cetera, whatever. They're still getting that product. So like I said, something like Destined Rivals, we're expecting a 2 to 3 year print run, but it can be even more than that. Like we've seen that in the past. I think that 151 will be printed or released, however you want to say it, all the way into the Mega Evolutions era, maybe through the entire Mega Evolutions era. If Pokemon knows they can make money on it, they'll continue to print it. I think they could even double the print run from 2 to 3 years to 5 to 6 years. I don't think that's even really a hot take at this point. Um, is it possible they just turn off the printing or the releasing of 151 at a hard date? Maybe. They're able to do that because they're not really like a publicly traded company. Like everything they do is very, behind closed doors. And that's another point I want to make real quick. I guess I'll just leave it on this page. But you constantly see Pokemon going after people that, show product early, right? We saw this with the black and white packs that came out like 2 or 3 months early. There was pictures going around Reddit and whatnot. And then we also saw it with, just a few weeks ago with the Mega Evolutions base set box being, photographed in what seemed to be a card shop. We see Pokemon come down really hard on these people to the degree where, people even in their comment sections are like, you should take this down. Like, you're going to get sued into oblivion. You're going to get banished to the Shadow Realm. You're going to go to prison. Like, all this crazy stuff, right? And I agree with them. Pokemon is incredibly steadfast at, keeping their copyright secure, keeping their, releases under wraps and all of those things. My question would be, why don't they take that little bit of capital out of that legal fund to destroy small card shops, or they even go after people that have like a Pokemon on their shirt from like a small business. Instead of, let's just take a little bit of that capital and use it to combat bots, right? Like, at the end of the day, combating bots is just a financial arms race. A lot of it is done with using AI, and it's a virtual arms race to combat bots. So, what happened last week with really the canceling of one of the most anticipated releases is pathetic. Pokemon knows it's pathetic. I don't think they've made an official statement. I know there was an official statement kind of floating around. I don't think that was real. They kind of just want to swipe it under the rug, and we'll see what happens with the release. I believe it's going to be tomorrow. Today's September 8th. Tomorrow's September 9th. I do think that it will release September 9th, and I'm very interested to see what sort of new system do they have. Will it be a raffle? Will they have a captcha system? No information has been kind of released on that, so it's kind of wait and see. We do know that the products are loaded into the back end, and they seem to still be there. But it's also crazy. Like, if this cook group or bot backdoor system, if they didn't make it like abundantly clear what happened and brag about it and all of those things, would we even know about this? I mean, Pokemon's not saying anything about it, so just find it very interesting. It doesn't really defeat bots if they go in and get 50,000 units 10 minutes before it releases, but it also doesn't really defeat bots if they go in and 10 minutes after it releases, they get 50,000 units. So, interested to see what happens tomorrow. Again, this is all of everything I'm saying in this video is in terms of like anniversary sets is very speculative. I was not here for XY Evolutions. I was not here for the 25th anniversary. I will be here for the 30th anniversary, but again, take everything I say with a grain of salt. Drop me a comment, tell me some different information about anniversary sets that I didn't bring up in this video and why I'm completely wrong. I'm totally free to actually engage with that. I know I'm very sarcastic a lot and say I love the haters, I love the comments, whatever. But with something like anniversary sets, I really am kind of a novice to it. So I read a blurb here, blurb there, and I'm just kind of trying to put together information. Again, 24th is Pokemon Day, or 27th in February. I think it's possible that we get like a snap release. I do also think it's possible that we just get an announcement about it and then it doesn't happen until October. Even if it happens in October, it doesn't give us enough time to have 15, 16, 17 sets, even 13, 12. Like, we're going to have less than 10 sets, probably, in my opinion, 4 to 5. And if that's totally inaccurate, maybe 7 to 8. That's my speculation. Let me know if I'm a goofy. Appreciate y'all stopping by. Like, comment, subscribe, run those numbers up for Blab, and I'll see you all in the next video.